So hey guys, this is my praise or blame speech for the research portfolio. So for my travelogue, I decided to base my story on the journey of a Nabatean trader from the city of Petra, which is located in present-day Jordan. And in this journey, my trader will visit the Greek cities of Pergamon and Athens during the Hellenistic period, and he will be visiting these cities to trade incense with the people from these cities, as the Greeks valued incense a lot since they used it as a way to communicate with their gods during rituals or ceremonies. And as he visits these cities, he will come across famous pieces of architecture and art, some of which we have seen in our readings. And to the best of my ability, I will try to provide a description of these pieces through the eyes of the traveler. So as mentioned earlier, the trader in this travelogue is from the ancient city of Petra, and something remarkable about Petra would be the many buildings and temples that were carved out of its cliffsides. And what's this example would be that of the treasury, which is this building right here. And this is actually a building that I mentioned in my travelogue as well. And this temple had features similar to those in the Greek Ionic order, and that is its columns had a carved vase with a capital that has an abacus and a volute at the top. And between its tablatures, friezes depicting figures were also carved. So you could see this right here. And these features were probably implemented into these buildings as Nabatean traders visited Greek cities and brought back those ideas back to Petra. And before embarking on this journey, my traveler will hire a guide that will help him get across the desert. And guides were important as they helped people traverse the desert and knew the locations of water deposits. And in this travelogue, my trader visits the city of Pergamon, which is in the present day Turkey, and ancient Athens. And I actually did some research about how long it would take for someone to get across the Mediterranean and the Aegean Sea, and came to an estimate of about 20 days. So that's how long it took my traveler to reach the city of Pergamon. And my traveler describes the city of Pergamon as a city that was built on top of a mountain with various colonnaded buildings. And he comes here, of course, to trade incense, and what he gets in return is a silver tetradakim with the face of Alexander the Great. And examples of this coin can be found all over the world, such as in the Metropolitan Museum of Art and in the British Museum. And in this travelogue, I also provided a description of the altar of Pergamon, which is currently located in the Pergamon Museum in Berlin. And this is what it would have looked like if it was in its original condition. And this altar was dedicated to Zeus, and within the frieze, gods could be seen locked in battle with giants and other creatures. And this is actually Athena dragging a giant by their hair, and Nike's right next to her. And something remarkable about this frieze is that the figures were protruding so far out of the background that they seemed to be sculptures rather than the part of the frieze itself. And it took my traveler around 10 days to sail across the Aegean Sea to reach the shores of Athens. And there's nothing really remarkable about the sailing journeys within this travelogue except for the fact that they were long. And this was due to the sailing methods and other technologies that these people had available during those times. So once he reaches Athens, my traveler heads straight to the Agora, which is this building right here. And this building was sometimes used as a marketplace. And I actually found an image of this place and realized that it was in Doric order rather than the Ionic order. And I gave a description of its features within my travelogue by mentioning that the base of its columns seemed to go straight into the background, and the abacus wasn't as decorated. Between the architrave and the pediment, there were a series of triglyphs and metopes that decorated the building, and such features can be seen in the Doric order of architecture. And this was actually different from the Ionic order features that could be seen in the altar of Pergamon, but nonetheless, it would have been remarkable to be able to see the Agora in its original condition. And actually, within the Agora, my traveler came across the sculpture of Tyche, which is the goddess of chance and fortune. So I actually provided a description of the sculpture as well. So Tyche stood with her weight on her left leg, and her right leg appeared to be relaxed. On her left arm, she was holding a cornucopia that extended up to her left shoulder, while her right arm was sharply flexed and pressing against her body, with her hand reaching towards her throat. So I know that this image doesn't really depict that, but this description kind of shows what the original condition of the sculpture would have looked like. And carved lines that formed the drapery around the figure could also be seen. So the intricate details within the sculpture showed how skilled the Greeks were creating these forms of art and these sculptures. And after leaving Athens, my traveler embarked on a 30-day journey back to Petra, and thus my travelogue ended. Thank you.